But why do you think you need to stay here?
You definitely because investors are here, and investors so before COVID, I know talking with investors, they were telling me that before COVID, basically everybody had as a clause, you need to be in San Francisco because I want to be close to you. I want to be able to talk to you in person, come in the office, and see how everything is going. After COVID, things have changed a little bit, but now are going back to how they were.
Yeah, honestly, I think that the true value you can have by physically be present here is that relationship in presence is completely different that's remotely, or at least initially. I mean,
Yes.
initially. I'm Alessandro.
And I'm Eduardo.
This is Unraveling the Bay Area.
Here we go.
Hi. Here we are again.
How's it going?
Last episode of this season.
Yes, last episode of the season, and we'll tell you what is going to happen in the second season. But first of all, please, as always, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment down below, and follow us, whatever.
And let us know what do you think.
As always, if you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple
Podcast,
basically, and whatever you are, keep following us.
So
we want to talk about a few things in this episode. First of all, we want to really talk about like the startup ecosystem here. We mentioned it a little bit in the last episode.
Something in the episode, but nothing very specific. So also like. Since we during next season we will definitely start to make like interviews with people.
Yes.
And all of this
both,
stuff.
Founders, professionals in different sectors.
Exactly. We wanted to say a little bit more about it. Nothing too specific, but mention we collect some information, just some curiosity people were asking us about, and we say
because we are
last episode
kind of working on a startup, so
I mean that's the basic what we are doing. So
we also were looking at different things
So first of all, what do you want to start on?
No, you take the lead.
Okay, let's see. I would start. San Francisco, the Bay Area, and the Silicon Valley, is it the place to be for a startup today in 2023? It was in the past. What do you think it is today?
So I asked I asked to a lot of friends of mine whether I'm more of an analytical or a creative person. I've been told I'm analytical, and that is true. I like numbers, and numbers lead me to say that Silicon Valley, the Bay Area, it still is absolutely 100% the place to be. Why is that? So
tell me some numbers. I mean, I don't know if you know the numbers, but in terms of percentage, I'm 100% sure that US in general, but San Francisco specifically, is the place to be because there are the best talents, the best university, the best companies.
Apart from that, all the venture capitalists and angel investors are here.
Which is probably, I would say, investors are the reason why people are coming here.
Yes.
Because they will invest and they have money, they want to invest here.
I mean, between 60 and 70% of the investments in startups from venture capitalists around the world are done in the US. And within the US, at least 40 to 50% of the investments are carried out here in the Bay Area. So it means that globally, this is the place to be. The second place in the US where they make investments is Boston, the Boston area, but it's like 20% or something like that, according to some statistics I read last year.
Yeah, everyone has its own statistic for sure.
But
But
this actually was from some really interesting study from, I don't remember which.
no,
country,
yeah,
but
that's sure.
still,
Yeah.
like, it means that if 50 or around 50% of investments are in San Francisco and 20 or 40% and 20 are in Boston. And the third one was, if I'm not wrong, New York with 19%.
I mean,
So it was San Francisco, Boston, and New York. Everything else is basically nothing.
Nothing.
So if you want to have a startup, you have
this
to
is the
come
place
here.
to be. And next question is, if you have your own startup, yeah, let's see how to approach it. So first of all, okay, you need to stay here. How do you come here? So what's the reason? What do you need to have to arrive here?
Well,
Organizational.
money.
Yeah. For sure, money, it's an issue because San Francisco is the worst city in which to live in terms of cost of life, as we said in the previous episodes, and I mean not so much I would say, but you still need to have some money
No, yeah.
to survive because if things are not going well, you need to have something
Yeah,
away.
like
Second
a lifeline.
is how you can stay here. You need to
if
have
you're not American, if you're American, you just have to move here from whichever part of the country you're from. Be willing to put yourself out there and risk, because obviously it is a risk. We can also say it's a gamble.
Yeah.
But as anything and everything that is worth something. And if you're not American, well, obviously you need a visa of some sort.
Visa, yeah. But it depends on how long do you want to stay.
Yes, because I mean,
initially you can stay for 3-6 months more or less.
So from Europe, if you have a tourist visa, you can stay here for 3 months at a time, but you cannot conduct any business. I know other countries, their tourist visa is not the ESTA, which is the one we have in Europe, but they have the B something visa.
Okay.
And it lasts for up to 5 years actually.
Okay.
But
initially, I mean, if you have your own startup and you already decided that you want to settle everything here, you can go for the visa. Otherwise, initially you can.
You can go for the investor visa if you have some money.
Yeah, I mean that for sure. But initially, if you want if you are curious to know about it, to explore the city, you can stay here sometimes. And how long do you think?
If you don't have any, if you're still trying to figure out what you want to do, definitely come here for 2 or 3 months. I think less than 2 is not worth it.
Mm-hmm. It depends. It depends on your goal. That's for sure.
I mean, if you don't have an idea, if you want to look around and try to find inspiration
from other people,
I think less than 2 months it's not worth it. But obviously it depends on the situation. Yeah. If you already have a startup or you already have an idea, then I would definitely say find a way to move here. Start maybe with a tourist visa, and then once you're here, try to get the investor visa, or try to get the investor visa right away, which is not even that hard to get. I mean, the investor visa, you need money.
It's not hard to get.
And you need to invest, I think $100,000, and have a business plan or something like that. But it's not $100,000 if you are planning on living here in the Silicon Valley.
It's nothing.
It's the bare minimum.
Yeah.
So
So what do you need apart? Okay, yeah, the visa for sure. First things.
But you can also
Then
start, if you're from outside the US, you can also start the entire process before.
yeah, that's the thing. But why do you think you need to stay here continuously all over the years? I mean, do you think it's like because right now, like yeah, like 2 weeks ago at TechCrunch, I was speaking with some people, and they basically told me, "Oh, I stay 6 months in San Francisco, 6 months in New York." When I have sometimes because for sure, like you, I honestly think that you don't need to physically be here for all the period. You can move. I mean, there are other events, there are other people that you can meet in other places. But why do you think you need to stay here?
I mean, you definitely because investors are here, and investors they. So before COVID, I know talking with investors, they were telling me that before COVID, basically everybody had as a clause, you need to be in San Francisco because I want to be close to you. I want to be able to talk to you in person, come in the office, and see how everything is going. After COVID, things have changed a little bit, but now are going back to how they were.
Yeah, honestly, I think that the true value you can have by physically be present here is that relationship in presence is completely different that's remotely, or at least initially. I mean,
Yes,
initially,
once you have it.
exactly. Once you have it, I mean, yeah, like this morning I spoke with people in New York. I mean, it's pretty common that you can maintain the relationship and in a successful way. But initially, that's the best thing to do. I mean, you need to know people, and when they start to know you, that you will remain here, everything will be much more simple than exploring around on the internet.
Yeah, but I'm still a firm believer that at least like in the very early stages, you need to be here. Obviously, then it also depends on what sector, what industry you are, because if you are more...
If you want to raise fund, if you need to develop the product...
But also if you are like tech, then you have to be here. If you're like, I don't know, in the gaming sector or in the entertainment sector, then probably it's better to be closer to LA, or if you are more in the financial sector, maybe New York. But still, if you're, and nowadays almost everybody is really tech oriented, you need a presence here. Then after a while you can start going back and forth, going to other places, but still come here for a few months or for some periods.
I agree. Next part I would say is, do you need to register the startup here? Can you have it? Can you have it like in Europe? How do you? What do you think about it?
So definitely not in California. Do not incorporate in California. I mean, I know that...
I think they can see you.
Sorry, everybody probably everybody knows this, but like you incorporating
I
Delaware.
remember, like fun facts. I know these things since I don't know, high school. Because I remember, I remember one of my professor of law. He was continually, it was really funny. I mean, he continuously told us, "Oh, you need to know this. So when you want to start your own corporate, your own startup, you need to register in Delaware, Delaware." And I was continually thinking, "What's Delaware? What's Delaware?" I don't know anything. I mean, I was in high school. But I saw this professor.
In San Marino.
Yeah, and he continually told me, like, Delaware. Right now, I can 100% be sure that I know what is that. And so, but I, like, initially didn't know, like, where was the state. I probably...
Nobody knows where Delaware is.
I know,
You
yeah.
do?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah, I do. But
No, definitely you incorporating that, and that is what I was what I meant when I said that you can start even before moving to Silicon Valley if you're in the U.S. or even before moving to the U.S. if you are a foreigner.
Yeah.
You can incorporate in Delaware from outside just by using like. I mean,
Yeah,
there are different ways to
yeah.
incorporate.
Yeah, like today there are a lot of like also software websites you can do pretty all like
I
online.
mean, a lot of our friends or people we both know have incorporated that way, either by using, I don't know, Clerky, LegalZoom, Zen Business, or Rocket Lawyer, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also, if you're interested, we'll
We will
we'll
link
link
the,
everything down below.
Yeah, sure.
No affiliate links or whatever, just to help you out if
Yeah.
you're interested.
And
But other
and
people,
why? No, yeah.
No,
Go-
other
go ahead.
people they used actually an actual lawyer
Okay.
because there are some law firms and some lawyers
Okay.
who are willing to help you out, help you incorporate, and guide you through the first months or year until you raise like a seed round, and then then you have to pay a pretty hefty fee. These software, these
And,
websites, they're like
I'm
$400.
sure that our listener will think, why do I need to establish to incorporate the startup in Delaware?
You know, since
Yeah, I know.
all right, let's see.
But no, I mean, yeah, like there are a bunch of reasons, but mainly is that investors here really know what is that the law in Delaware, and so
And also, the state of Delaware has been passing laws that are super convenient for
like tax,
corporations. Yeah.
Exactly, that's for sure. And so in this way, they can like better manage the entire process. So they will know how to structure the contract, how to exit in the future, how to establish the team, like, a bunch of reasons.
And also, as we said, like tax-wise, it's the best state ever.
Exactly.
I mean, big tech companies, they are incorporated in Delaware.
Yeah. And that's the reason why.
It's
and
like
so
if you do
people...
business in Europe, you incorporate in, you have your headquarters in Ireland, in Dublin.
Yeah.
That's the same.
Exactly. And then if you have, like, if you already have your own startup in Europe, they will not, I mean, it's difficult that they will invest in you. I mean, it takes like another process, more lawyers, both sides. And so even if you have your technology more advanced and whatever, it will be difficult that they will invest in you.
Some friends of mine, they had a startup in Italy, for example, and they had to move here just to to have investors look at them, and they were in contact with some investors, and they were like, well, if you're not incorporated here, I won't invest or anything like that. And they had to spend a lot of money, had a lot of issues to change and move their corporation from Italy to the US. So my suggestion would be, even if you are in Italy or France or in Argentina or whatever you are, incorporate in Delaware right away.
It's not also costly. I mean, it's like probably
it's one of the cheapest ever.
100, 200 probably, and you can start to operate. Next, our next argument is like how to find people here, because like as you said, you don't really need to be here to start the process.
Yes.
Right now there are a lot of community groups of Facebook, groups of whatever, Twitter, LinkedIn, X, sorry.
Threads.
So like how do you find them? Because like initially...
But you are the expert on the matter.
Yeah, right now definitely yes. But no, initially, I mean, I was looking to a lot of, I mean, for sure, there isn't the actual reason I think is that you can find all the platform. There are a lot of people that are saying, oh, you just need to go on Twitter, on X, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, whatever. But actually, no one tells you how to do it, how to approach it, and what's the reason behind it. Initially, I started to look around on LinkedIn and whatever. The reality is that I needed to know people physically present here, and it was difficult because like on Twitter, on X, you will find I don't know the YC founder X whatever. It will be difficult that if you message them, he will reply to you because you don't have like a physical presence or an online presence. They will see probably your profile. They will see a bunch of things from the past, nothing correlated with the SF tech environment. They will not reply. And so I was looking for some more specific. And so I started from Facebook and I went on with that. But the reality nowadays is that I would say that I will try to find people in my sector that I have some connection with. And so honestly, I would prefer LinkedIn in this way. And on that, I will try to contact them, send them a message, asking them, oh, I have to plan, my next plan, like in the next month I will be there. What do you suggest me? How, like,
How can I move?
because people, as we said previously, are very friendly here and they will help in some way they can.
Yeah.
And so honestly, I think is one of the best way to approach this issue. Then, very specifically, depending on the industry you're in, there are more community on Slack. Yeah, like in fintech, for example, there is like a good community on Slack from all over the world. Right now, there are a lot of newsletter or this type of thing that they own like specific community in some Slack, Discord, or whatever. If you are more technical on GitHub, Reddit, whatever, and for sure on X you can find another good community. For example, I spoke with initially I spoke with a person. Basically, was from Singapore, and he told me that he's never been here in SF. But basically on X, he discovered Build Space. You remember Build Space? Yeah. He discovered the Build Space community. He entered into that. He did the program online. He knew a lot of people. And so for him, arriving here was the smoother process he could have. Because he arrived, he immediately went there. He knew already the people. And so he started online. And
that is so cool.
And yeah, because like or like right now I'm thinking about Founders Inc. Or other program. It's pretty basic that if you are an expert in your own area, it will be like easier to do that.
But if I may jump on that, like
go
networking. You were talking about this for networking, especially like if you want to come here with a startup or stuff like that. But and we have talked about network in the past.
Yeah, we have.
Something like talking about startups, I also think like it's really important also the concept of the startup of you, meaning like you also have to think about yourself as a startup. I'm talking about this also because what are some of the lessons that we learned or we heard from people, from successful founders or from investors we've talked to, and often like everything that can be applied to the success of a startup can be also applied to you as a person. So like you always have to like think about yourself as a startup, so market yourself as well. You were talking about friendly people.
That would be, sorry if I interrupt you, but that's probably the main thing in coming here. To be here, you need to like promote yourself in a way.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you will not find people, like if you are like
An introvert.
yeah, exactly, and you are here, probably they will destroy you in some way. That's the like that's the basic. I mean,
Yeah.
and like when I came here, I started to talk more, to speak with people.
And with your hands.
Exactly, but there other people do it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you need to promote yourself, having your personal brand, and as you said, your own startup in some way. So surround you by people that you can trust, and you will be
Yeah.
fine.
Have like your personal board of advisor,
Yeah.
in a way,
Yeah.
with your mentors and people
Yeah,
in
I
general.
mean, yeah, all the relationship, and
Yeah.
you can get something from all the people.
And
But yeah,
but
that's the best way of growth.
and talking about like what are so we are not successful founders in any way.
As a lot of other people here.
Exactly. Even founders are not. A lot of founders are not successful, but I don't know. We've been talking to a lot of people for sure. I think something useful could be like telling them about like some of the main, let's say, lessons that people, that founders, investors, or other people have told us, have taught us.
Okay. Yeah.
Some of them might seem normal,
Yeah.
might seem like a no-brainer, but maybe it's not like that for everybody.
Yeah. The first things, like, I think that I could say a little bit more about founders, for sure. And that's a good question.
All right.
I think that after 4 months of being here, the first things that all told me is you need to have your own team, very structured. You can count on. So basically, if you arrive here and you are alone, it's like very difficult. That I mean, it's like it depends, but it will be easier in a way to have your own team. So I don't know, if you are technical, you need to have like another co-founder, or if you are not technical, you will need to have another technical co-founder, and that's the best thing. I mean,
You can also find them
you can also find them, yeah, for sure.
like an
Yeah,
networking
yeah, that
events
for
or-
sure. But that's the other thing. I mean, if you already have someone, you arrive here and you can already start.
Yes.
Otherwise, it will take.
But like the importance of the funding team and the team in general, I
Yeah.
think.
You need to trust them. I mean, and this is also why.
And everybody has to be like very invested in the
Yeah,
project.
you need to be aligned with the interest, money. I mean, it seems strange, but actually it's true. In terms of interest, money, time, this is like the best
yeah.
things. I mean, if you start to be not so aligned in some way, the idea will require a huge amount of time to be implemented. And this is also the reason why, I mean, accelerators like YC have their own personal page where there's like, do you know, there's like,
Oh yeah.
you looking for a co-founder here, but then
are nice.
the relationships should be solid because people are different, and so it's difficult. So this is like for founders. What do you think about investors?
Well, all the investors I've talked to, I almost always ask the same question about like what are the elements that you deem more important when you decide whether to invest or not in a startup.
Okay.
And all of them say that as a first thing is always the team, the founding team. If they are, as you were saying, like if they can see a chemistry among the founding team, if they are experienced, if they are motivated, something that everybody stresses as a point is the motivation of the founding team. And also their energy when they talk to them. because a lot of founders, they believe, they
Yeah.
like their idea,
That's,
but they like, you hear them talking about their startup or their pitch in the startup, and you're like, but do you actually like
Yeah.
it?
They
Are
are
you doing it
lazy,
just?
yeah.
And maybe they are the.
Yeah,
Maybe
they have the
love
best.
it.
Yeah, they have the best product. But
No,
that,
but
that's
also
the,
they
yeah,
love it. They
yeah,
just
yeah.
talk about it like.
Yeah, as we said previously, they don't know how to promote themselves. So they don't know how to speak. That's another thing we discovered. I mean, after that, you go to events, networking.
Yeah.
After a while, you know how to approach people, what to say, and how to concentrate your attention on. Another thing that I think is very relevant is that right now I immediately jump to the conclusion,
Yeah.
and I cut a long story short in a way. I know. I mean, initially I was just okay. I need to do this. I came from this. Actually, people don't care. I mean, people initially, right, just need to know briefly what are you working on.
Yeah.
So you need to be smart, and in 1 minute, 2 minutes, tell them your idea, and you will, if they will find it like, I don't know, in a positive situation.
No, but I mean,
You need to accelerate. People here don't have time that I want to spend.
That is true, but also like you always have to show your true commitment. Like you have to show investors and if you're a founder, like that you would give and do anything in the world
You can
for the startup.
for that
Like
one,
you have nothing else on your mind. That is the first thing. And then another really important thing is obviously the market. Like everybody talks about the size of the market, because if it's like it has to be at least at the bare minimum like $1 billion worth. It would be ideal if it was like around $5 billion as a potential total market, because otherwise the investors, they're like, I don't really care about it. Like the return I can get from
actually,
it, it's not enough.
The end is like they invest because they want to
Also,
have a
they
return in the
invest
future.
and they have a return in the medium to long term. It's not a short term thing.
Yeah.
So they need to see like at least a potential like, I don't know, 5, 7x.
Yeah, that's the other part, and yeah, for sure it depends on the industry right now.
And the idea comes at a later stage for the investors.
Yeah,
like,
actually, there are a lot of like, as like in the previous year, we realized initially people like they just need an idea,
yeah.
anything, and that's all.
But then you can
start
pivot,
to-
you can
yeah.
change your idea, you can change in course of action, as we
You
said
can try,
also.
yeah. And yeah, that's pretty old. So other thing is that yeah, here like there are the best people, let's say in terms of like technology capabilities. For sure, as we said previously, there are like universities here, which is another huge advantage. They are promoting a lot of events too, and another huge thing is like accelerators. I mean, we didn't say anything about it specifically. I mean, but accelerators like YC is one of the most successful. I'm sure we will speak more about it, and
Maybe we'll have a YC founder.
We can have it.
podcast.
I mean, yeah, it's not so difficult.
No. I mean, maybe we'll have a YC founder here in the next season.
Yeah,
to
exactly. We will say more
tell
about
us
it.
about it.
But yeah, do we want to say anything else? I think we cover a lot of things.
Yeah.
We will concentrate more attention.
On the second season,
yeah, we'll see how we'll structure.
We'll explore more. It will be like conversation with a third
Yeah,
party.
because yeah, we now can say that we didn't say anything about it, but like in this first season, we wanted to explore
Yes.
and
see
just
how
a
it was, and-
nice conversation between me and Hedo, and but like as we say, like for us, the main advantage is like sharing people's knowledge. Between us and with other people, which for sure will have will be more than happy to join us as they asked us, but yeah,
We'll have
we will
investors,
investigate
founders, tech bros, finance, whatever it is.
and yeah.
And please keep following us. Like
Yeah,
like, comment,
subscribe, and
share
whatever
it with your friends and family,
that
and
might be interested in listening us.
even if they're not interested, just share it.
Yeah, and yeah, so jump to the conclusion. It was a pleasure. Yeah, really to have you here, speak more about it.
Yeah,
And
hope we didn't bore you too much, and
I had fun, honestly,
I know I did.
with our beautiful landscape.
Thank you again to Midjourney for
And,
providing us with this great image that Alex generated.
The prompt engineer.
Prompt engineer. Well,
Awesome.
guys, thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, and we'll see you in the next season.